Hello everyone, welcome to 12 in Our Schools. I'm Brian Jenkins. It's that time of year when grads celebrate the pomp and circumstance, then commiserate on their job circumstance. In the current economy, that degree doesn't necessarily mean a job guarantee. News 12 New Jersey's Marcy Rubin found out what Garden State grads-to-be are doing to boost their chances of nailing down employment.
College seniors across New Jersey are getting ready to enter the real world, and they're facing a tough reality.
Nervous and excited at the same time. Nervous because of the economy the way it is.
With New Jersey's unemployment rate above 8%, Rutgers senior Lila Rehan has a right to be nervous.
It's a really tough time to be coming out of school. Probably the worst since the early 80s, and some would say since the Great Depression.
Richard White is the director of Rutgers Career Services, which helps students find jobs.
Can we think of something else to
I want to say something better.
He says while it is tough out there, it's not impossible, with recent grads often better off than those recently laid off.
I think the combination of their eagerness, their flexibility, and the fact that they're less expensive does give them the upper hand.
Career counselors like White offer advice for students or anybody looking for a job. He says be prepared. Always have your resume updated. Network as often as you can. And most importantly, he says, is be flexible.
My career goals have changed drastically because of the way the economy is, and, just you have to be flexible in order to get where you want to go in the future.
A future that for Layla includes a job at a local hospital. She considers herself lucky for finding it and is confident the class of 2009 will survive that tough reality they're about to be a part of. At Rutgers in New Brunswick, Marcy Rubin, News 12, New Jersey.
Now, while that college degree is a big plus, it's just a part of what grads need to land a job. For kids of means, there are often professional and family contacts that can help, but for kids from disadvantaged families, those tools are harder to obtain. Well, joining me today is Jennifer Openshaw from Super Futures, part of a new trend aimed at opening more doors for college students in hopes of better preparing them for jobs. Thanks for joining us today,
you bet,
Jennifer.
Brian.
And I guess that's the big buzzword is preparation for college students.
It is. It's a tough economy out there, and the question is how can parents better prepare their kids for the real world? And this isn't just about the classroom learning. This is about practical experience and being able to show companies that these kids can have an impact. What's so interesting, Brian, is that there are studies that show that kids themselves, like 60% of them, feel like they can have an impact on the world. So how can we translate that and give them the platform and the experience and the support, which is what we're doing with Super Futures in this upcoming summer program?
Yeah, and I was about to intro that, but I'll let you take it. It's a leadership program, as I understand.
It is. It's wonderful, and I'm so excited about it. It's 3 days at the United Nations where young people will hear from major leaders like Gandhi's grandson, who's head of the Global Center for Nonviolence, the senior strategist for Obama's presidential campaign.
We're seeing some of that as we speak.
You bet. Some of these students, Jesse Jackson, who joined us last year, as well as Kathy Ireland, who runs her own billion-dollar empire. These are people who are having an impact on the world, businesses and doing good. And those are the folks who will be successful in the future. And so, I would say to parents, ask yourselves, if you were interviewing your child, would you hire them? If not, we need to prepare them better, because the parents that we talked to, we did at Super Futures a lot of surveys, that parents found the #1 concern they had over getting into college or paying for college was, I want my teen to be successful transitioning to the real world. That was a big wow for me. I was really surprised to see that. They're concerned today. And so what we want to do is equip kids with the tools to be successful in the real working world.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned an interesting point there that I wanted to jump on. It was, maybe 40 or 50 years ago when John Kennedy, then president, said, ask not what you can do for what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And we saw the growth of the Peace Corps and things like that. And now we seem to be going back to that, where kids are looking for something that they feel can make the world better and not just to make a lot of money.
You're absolutely right about that. We're seeing a huge trend of service. I think part of it is the recession. Part of it is kids partly seeing their parents rushing to work, and not always being happy. And partly just wanting to have a positive impact. It's been so interesting as I talk to high school kids who say they want to have a positive impact on other people's lives. And so we're trying to marry that working world experience with with having an impact. And we know that if kids learn how to do that, imagine if they're in this economy interviewing for a job and they're able to demonstrate having an impact. They started maybe a nonprofit, maybe a little business. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something to demonstrate that they're a doer. That's what companies need and want
Something
today.
as simple as tutoring fellow students.
Absolutely.
Or, volunteering at a local elementary school or something like that.
And so what we're going to do, the summer program is they'll spend 3 days at the United Nations getting exposed to issues that the United Nations is trying to address. Poverty, education, the environment, etc. Then we're going to do a 5-day leadership program. By the way, kids can go just to the UN program if they want. 5-day leadership program follows on where we say, hey, now you've been exposed to these issues, what kind of impact would you like to have? And we help them actually create their own project in groups, small groups. We have them videotape what their impact is so they can use that in their college experiences, and then tours a Fortune 500 company.
All right. Now let's talk about some very specific things that you talked about. 4 very basic points that they have to be aware of. Stand out from the crowd was your first one.
It's essential today. I think what's most important for parents and high schoolers to remember is that every child is gifted with some talent. What you want to do is focus in on that and demonstrate your ability to succeed in that one area so that you can stand out from everybody else. So that might mean if you love the environment, and it doesn't have to be a social cause, by the way, maybe it's business, you demonstrate all your activities in that area. It could be even sports. So not only are you playing tennis, but maybe you're helping low-income kids get tennis lessons, for example. So you want to separate yourself by staying with a specialty and having a story to tell about it through your high school so that you have something strong on your college applications.
Okay. Plan early.
This is essential because I think it's a huge mistake that parents and students make. I know for